What is up, YouTube? I'm up in Frostburg, Maryland today, and what I'm doing is I'm going to Main Street Books, right? I've never been to this bookstore. I'm going to look for books to pick up, hope to potentially review next, and I'll let you know what I pick up here in a moment, if anything. I picked up 3 books the other day from Books A Million. I picked up Ulysses by James Joyce. I picked up a collection of shorter stories by Leo Tolstoy, which I've read, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, and I've read Family Matters by Tolstoy, and I've read excerpts from James Joyce, but never the entirety of Ulysses. I mean, I've read excerpts from Ulysses, chapter or two from Ulysses, but I've never tried to take on reading that entire thing. And I picked up Homer's The Odyssey, right? So because it's alluded to by so many classical works, and it also is James Joyce Ulysses is a retelling in some sense of Homer, The Odyssey. So, but that's beside the point. Today we're going to see what I can pick up. Hopefully something on the shorter side, because, it's a bitch. I already have a novel that I'm reading, and I plan on reading Crime and Punishment after this. So, something perhaps on the shorter side, but I'll let you know. So let's take a walk, right? So this is the view as you walk through Frostburg, right? But there it is, Main Street Books. So that's where we're going to head in. Not certain I'll film in there because it feels a little uncomfortable to do so. Maybe if I had those Snapchat glasses or something. But this is the small little college town where I went to school, college, Frostburg, Maryland, right? And perhaps one day I'll have to show you around the university. But it's really, it's quite a homey, cozy, beautiful little town. It really is, especially compared to Cumberland, where I'm from. That is a bit run down, and I don't know how to describe it. I better cross while I can. All right, so yeah, we'll just enter, and we'll see what it's all about. So I picked up 2 books, both by Albert Camus. I picked up The Stranger, and I picked up The Myth of Sisyphus, which I believe, mentioned in my review of Camus' The Guest. That bookstore was, that was my first time ever going in there. It was pretty awesome, honestly. They had a nice, decent selection of fiction, which is usually what I'm concerned with and I'm looking at. But the guy working there, Kirk, he was very knowledgeable, had a voice for radio, but he was very insightful, and he was able to lead me right to Camus, and we discussed literature. Of course, anytime I discuss literature, I have to bring up Dostoevsky. So we talked about some of the critiques made in Notes from Underground, and he mentioned The Death of Ivan Ilyich, and in the ways in which as soon as, his sense of self is derived from the house and all these material things, but as soon as he is no longer, once he falls ill and isn't able to uphold this, his family sort of casts him out. Now, he said he didn't like that Tolstoy leaned in towards a Christian resolution at the end. I asked him whether he believes a resolution should have been there or not, and I guess he didn't like that Tolstoy's a Christian, I guess, or I'm not sure if he's a Russian Orthodox Christian or what exactly, but yeah, he didn't like that offer of leaning into Christianity. But anyway, and we discussed philosophy a little bit, and the myth of Sisyphus, of course, and from Greek mythology, and we discussed Camus' personal philosophy absurdism. So anytime I can talk to somebody like that who is willing to, very much literate, and even if they're bounds ahead of me, which this guy most certainly was, you shouldn't take that as a, you should be able to put your vanity and whatever ego, whatever it is, aside, and because you can learn from these people. They shouldn't make you feel inferior, but you can learn from people, all types of people, not just people such as that, who are maybe more of the intellectual type, but listen to people, regardless of what they're saying. Listen to people and decide for yourself what makes sense and what doesn't, I would say. And think about what they're saying. Don't just let it go one ear and out the other. And even if it threatens to contradict a belief you hold dear, that's okay, because that's what learning is. You have to be willing to part ways with certain beliefs you hold to be true if you ever want to learn and sort of gain some type of knowledge or wisdom, right? Cornel West, I may have said this before, but he says that the act of learning, the pursuit of knowledge or whatever, is ultimately preparing for death, because in doing so, you're constantly having to part ways with old beliefs, old biases, for whatever, for new beliefs, or just if you find that to be an inherent, like a fallacy, right? Something you hold to be true is like a logical fallacy. But yeah, just the guy was fascinating to talk to. So yeah, hopefully I review one of these soon, and check out Main Street Books, right? I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, so check them out.